You cannot imagine how much the cast of the 1992 crime drama South Central has all transformed since they featured in the classics over 3 decades ago. In fact, one of the major actors is currently on death row. The movie might have given you some chills down your bones, but seeing these actors now might change your mind about your favorite character. From Jimmie to Mrs. Manchester, here's what the South Central cast has been up to all these years. No one could have acted the character of Body Badass Johnson better than Glenn Plummer. Born on August 18, 1961, Glenn played Bobby in the movie, a gang member who needed to prove himself, only to end up serving jail time behind bars. He lived his years in prison, nursing the scary thought of his son Jimmie following in his footsteps. But prison taught him that everyone deserves a second chance, including himself. He was 31 when he was featured in the movie, and the way he breathed life into the character of Bobby needs to be studied. He was so real that in an interview, he said that the entire production team all cried while he acted in an emotional scene. Even after 32 years, Glenn Plummer remains one of Hollywood's most iconic actors. At 63 years of age, he is still respected as a veteran actor. He might not have gotten the recognition he deserved, but to date, people still refer to him as Bobby Johnson. Byron Mins gave everything when he played as Ray Ray in the movie South Central. When he stepped into this role in 1992, Byron was already making waves in Hollywood with his undeniable talent for portraying complex characters. Ray Ray perfectly embodied the seductive power of living as a gang member, showing audiences exactly why so many young men fell under its spell. Fast forward to 32 years, and Byron Mins has proven himself as much more than a one-hit wonder. He's leveraged his talents beyond acting, becoming a respected writer and creative force in Hollywood. He wrote and also featured in Black Dynamite, which displayed just how versatile he is. He's acted in over 30 movies, including Forrest Gump. Today, at 65, Byron continues to contribute to entertainment projects, though he keeps a lower profile than some of his contemporaries. While he may not be a household name, those who know him well respect his work and the unforgettable intensity he brought to characters like Ray Ray, a performance that still resonates with audiences even 3 decades later. Christian Coleman was just 14 years old when he played Jimmie J-Rock Johnson, the vulnerable son caught between his absent father's past and the dangerous gang life. Despite his young age, Christian had viewers begging for more scenes of him acting, as his performance was raw and authentic. Unfortunately, Christian's promising start didn't translate to sustained success. Unlike his co-stars, he struggled to secure follow-up roles, appearing in just 2 minor television productions. The devastating turn in Christian's story came in 2001, when, at age 23, he was arrested and later convicted for his involvement in a liquor store robbery that resulted in the death of the 52-year-old store owner. Sentenced to death in 2003, Coleman has been on California's death row at San Quentin State Prison for over 20 years now. From child actor to death row inmate, that was the last thing any fan of the movie would expect of him. In a 2018 prison interview, Coleman reflected that Jimmie's story in the film somehow became my own story, the very cycle we were trying to warn against. Before catching the eyes of audiences as the wise prison mentor Ali in South Central, Carl Lumbly had already carved out an impressive career spanning multiple decades. Born on August 14, 1951 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Lumbly first gained recognition in the groundbreaking series Cagney and Lacey, 1981 to 1988, where he portrayed Detective Marcus Petrie for 7 seasons. By the time director Steve Anderson cast him as Ali in South Central, 1992, Lumbly was already known for how he thoughtfully puts on characters with such grace and expertise. His scenes with Glenn Plummer created the spiritual backbone of the film, as Ali taught Bobby that true power comes from responsibility rather than violence. In the decades following South Central, Lumbly's career has flourished impressively. From 2001 to 2006, he had already reached new audiences as CIA agent Marcus Dixon in the spy thriller Alias, appearing in 105 episodes alongside Jennifer Garner. Now, in his 70s, Lumbly remains active in television and film, with over 125 credits to his name. His enduring career stands as a proof to his exceptional talent and the depth he brings to every role. Lexi Bigham brought unforgettable energy to the character of Bear in South Central, serving as Bobby's loyal friend and providing moments of much-needed levity amidst the film's intense examination of gang life. Bigham was just 24 when the film was released in 1992, but he had already made a significant impression on Hollywood with his natural charisma and undeniable aura on set. Before South Central, Bigham had already made a name with his role in John Singleton's groundbreaking Boys in the Hood, 1991, where he played the character of Coconut. His authenticity helped establish him as one of the rising talents in African American cinema during the early 90s. Tragically, Lexi Bigham's promising career was cut short when he died in a car accident in Los Angeles on December 17, 1995. At just 27 years old, his passing represented a profound loss to Hollywood. Though his career spanned only 5 years, Bigham's performances continue to resonate with audiences, particularly his portrayal of Bear, a character that embodied loyalty of South Central Los Angeles. Alvin Hatcher won the hearts of many as little baby Jimmie in the tough 1992 movie South Central. Even with a little screen time, he made us feel some real connection. His sweet baby face stood out against all the gang violence in the film. Director Stephen Milburn Anderson knew exactly how to use Hatcher's innocence to show what was at stake in these rough neighborhoods. However, after the movie ended, Hatcher seemed to have disappeared from Hollywood. Unlike other child actors who stick around for more roles, he walked away from fame completely. Nobody's seen him in interviews or at events, and he hasn't been in any other movies either. Viewers of the movie still wonder what happened to the baby, but he must be getting the best out of life. When audiences first met Loretta Shelby as Carol in South Central, they witnessed an actress who could break hearts with just a glance. Shelby brought an unflinching authenticity to her portrayal of a mother battling addiction while trying to hold together what remained of her family. Shelby didn't just play Carol and Bobby's wife, she literally became her in entirety. The Los Angeles Times called her performance devastatingly real in their 1992 review, noting how she conveyed volumes about urban motherhood with minimal dialogue. Though her career after South Central didn't reach the heights some predicted, Shelby pivoted successfully into various entertainment avenues. Today, at 59, Loretta works primarily as a media consultant and occasional actress. She published her memoir, The Brand New Mommy, in 2017. Reginald T. Dorsey played Bastille in the 1992 film South Central, bringing a strong presence to the narrative of gang life and redemption. Dorsey's portrayal of Bastille added depth to the film's exploration of the harsh realities faced by characters in South Central Los Angeles. By the time South Central was released, Dorsey had already gained experience in both film and television, with roles in series like 21 Jump Street and Booker. His extensive credits also include Return to Lonesome Dove and The Cherokee Kid. As a veteran actor, producer, and director, Dorsey has maintained a respected position in the industry, known for his dedication and passion for his craft. His work on South Central remains a notable part of his diverse career, which spans decades and multiple genres. Ivory Ocean played Willie Manchester in South Central and delivered one of the film's most powerful emotional moments. Ocean brought decades of stage and screen experience to his role as the grieving father, whose forgiveness becomes the key point to Bobby's redemption journey. By the time South Central was released, Ocean had already established himself as a reliable character actor, appearing in television series like Hill Street Blues and LA Law throughout the 1980s. Ocean's final on-screen appearance came in 2012's Sparkle, 4 years before his death on June 29, 2016, at age 65. Though never achieving household name status, movie directors haven't stopped singing his praise, with South Central director Steve Anderson later noting that Ocean could accomplish more with a single look than many actors could with an entire monologue. Vicki Lynn Reynolds might not have had the most screen time in the South Central movie, but one truth was undeniable. Her role as Mrs. Manchester packed an emotional punch that viewers couldn't forget. As the grieving mother whose son was killed, Reynolds didn't need fancy dialogue to break your heart. In South Central, Reynolds shows her talent in the powerful scene where she silently stands beside her husband as he confronts their son's killer. After South Central, Reynolds picked up roles in films like Poetic Justice, 1993, and made appearances on TV shows including Martin and Living Single. Today, at 68, Vicki Lynn Reynolds has stepped back from the spotlight. She occasionally shows up at film retrospectives or cast reunions, but mostly enjoys a quiet life away from Hollywood. She's said to focus on community theater work in her hometown and mentoring young actors. Starletta Dupois made a significant impact as Nurse Shelley, even though she had only a few scenes. She wore the character of the compassionate nurse who tends to Jimmie after his injury. Dupois was already a respected industry veteran by the time she joined the cast, with notable performances in Sidney Poitier's A Piece of the Action, 1977, and The White Dawn, 1974. Following South Central, Dupois continued building her impressive filmography with roles in Friday After Next, 2002, and as the memorable grandmother in the dance film You Got Served, 2004. Now in her early 80s, Dupois remains active in the industry, most recently appearing in Tyler Perry's productions and several episodes of his television series. Throughout her six-decade career, she has demonstrated a remarkable ability to bring authenticity to every role. Loco might seem like an underrated character, but Vincent Craig Dupree acted the role excellently well. Like a predator stalking a young prey, he zeroed in on Jimmie, pulling the vulnerable young lad deeper into the dangerous world that his father had tried so desperately to shield him from. At the age of 29, it was a perfect combination of street swagger and subtle danger that Dupree brought to the screen in 1992. Though South Central probably marked his most significant role, he had already drawn some attention with minor appearances in Colors, 1988, and a small part in John Singleton's Boys and the Hood, 1991. Now, he's already 69 years old, and unlike many of his co-stars, Dupree remains one of the mysterious figures from the film. Although he briefly appeared in 2 independent films he has been largely absent from Hollywood since the turn of the millennium. Kevin Best excellently portrayed the character Jeannie Lamp as he wholly brought the dangerous world of Jeannie Lamp to life. Born on February 26, 1959, Kevin was 33 when he played the loud-talking drug dealer and pimp who tried to rule the block. Jeannie Lamp was one of the temptations Bobby Johnson had to overcome in his quest for redemption. Kevin's role is unforgettable as he embodied his character so well with his sharp delivery and slick attitude. Before South Central, Kevin had minor roles in movies like Teen Witch and Madman, but Jeannie Lamp was his most recognizable role, as it was the one movie that challenged him. After South Central, Kevin didn't stay long in the spotlight. He appeared in a few smaller projects like Donut Shop Hero in 2008. Now in his mid-60s, he's rarely seen in film circles. But to fans of 90s street dramas, Kevin Best will always be remembered as the man behind Jeannie Lamp. Eugene Williams, born in 1959, was a talented actor with a diverse career in television, film, and voice acting. He appeared in notable TV specials like Just Tipsy, Honey, 1988, and 15 and Getting Straight, 1989. His voice work included Billy Jukes in Peter Pan and The Pirates. Williams gained recognition for his role as Local Tough in the 1992 crime drama South Central, a film centered on redemption and gang life. Later, he directed projects like The Bus Stop, 2000. Despite his talent, Williams remained under the radar and passed away in December 2002 at age 43. His contributions to 90s cinema and television continue to be appreciated by fans of the era. Sal Landy played the detective in South Central, one of the few authority figures trying to keep control in a world spinning out of control. He didn't have a huge role, but every time he showed up, the tension went up a notch. Sal was 41 when South Central dropped, but by then, he was already a familiar face. He'd been in shows like Knight Rider, The A-Team. The man knew how to play serious, sharp-edged characters, and he kept doing that for decades. After South Central, Sal just kept going. NYPD Blue, The X-Files, CSI, Scandal, NCIS. Name a crime show, and he's probably been on it. He even popped up in Bosch, Legacy, and The Offer as recently as 2022. Now in his 70s, Sal Landy is still working, still sharp. He might not be a household name, but he's one of those faces you never forget. Who among these characters is your favorite? Let us know in the comment box. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to enjoy more thrilling videos from us.